Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Let's talk about Jocelyn for a minute. Okay, let's talk about Jocelyn for a minute. Now, I don't know what James or JLJ Media thinks of Jocelyn, but I know what Brock TV thinks of Jocelyn. I know what DC thinks of Jocelyn. I remember he made a video sometime in the middle of the week, which he usually waits, to do these videos on the weekends, but the way she's been acting pissed him off so much that he decided he needed to cover that ish right then and there. And I know exactly what that's like. My first video that I did was because Nina pissed me off. Okay? It's basically Smith is saying that this little girl, okay, this little girl that's still a child, has been working all three of our nerves. And today is no exception. Today is no exception. Because in so many ways, she proves just how stupid and how hypocritical she can be. This is why I say things when I'm talking about her, like she needs to sit there and stay in a child's lane. How dare she sit there and try to criticize the adults for decisions that they made in her and in their lives when she barely hasn't even lived yet. This girl pisses me off. And she starts by talking about Cam and how Cam lied to her and she's upset and she doesn't like it. But then in the same breath, after she finished telling the story, she's basically like, if I was put in that position, I would do the same thing. You know what that just proved? It just proved that your whole beginning talk sounded extremely stupid when you said that. Oh, Cam lied to me, this, that, and the third, and, he went rogue and blah, 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 and then you just said that you would do the same thing. So I was already done with the character at that point today. No, 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 no. It just gets worse. This little girl just gets worse. So Sonny tells Dax to go after one of the jurors and to, persuade him to, do the sensible thing and make the right choice when it comes down to it. Dax talks to this guy and tells him all the different ways of why you should pretty much do the right thing. So after, her little talk or whatever, I guess she goes outside and she sees him. And the guy runs off and she's all like, oh, well, if he told you to quit, you would quit and blah, 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 blah. Just really that they're trying to scold him. And I'm just like, boo, you are in no position whatsoever to be scolding anyone. But okay, cool. Let's just sit there and waste this airtime. So she goes off on him for a little bit. She comes back and she's all like, oh, that guy that was working for Sonny, he's not there trying to pressure one of the jurors. And, what it is, it's wrong. And then she gets on a stupid high moral ground where she starts saying like, oh, well, what he's doing is wrong. And Carly's like, yeah, I get that. But, Trina's your friend. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. After she calmed down because she realized Carly started to make sense. She's like, yeah, well, I can concede what he did. And, even though I didn't really like it, I understand where he's coming from. Oh, for a minute, you actually almost sound like you made sense. Don't stare at me now. Almost sound like she was coming back to reality for a little bit. Look, while she's all like, oh, I hate what he did to you. Boo, sweetheart, no one cares. I mean, don't get me wrong. I care. I just don't care that it's coming out of her mouth. I hate Sonny, this, that, and the third. Back to her usual hypocritical BS. You didn't hate him before when everything was all good and great. When the parents were just living it up and in love with each other. Oh, it was Uncle Sonny this, Uncle Sonny that. How many times did she sit there and start trying to threaten Esme with the Uncle Sonny stuff? Yeah. And all the other times that she would sit there and say that, threaten or use his name. Yeah. Jocelyn is a goddamn moron. She pisses me off on a daily basis. And every time I gotta sit there and see scenes with her and she starts talking about something, I'm just waiting with bated breath and being like, is this chick gonna piss me off today? I wonder. You know, Smoltz might be one of the most dangerous people on the planet. People like him scare me because, when I sit there and use the term he has no soul, I mean that. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And it made me sit there and think, before I start cursing out this guy and calling him a bunch of names, is this a mental thing? Like, does he have some sort of mental disability somewhere in there? Because, when Sasha confronts both of them and they get out the car and he gets all up in her face and he's like, "Oh, did you go off the pills because of your dead kid?" Just think about that sentence for a minute. And I don't know exactly if it's the words first verbatim, but you talked about that child like it was an inanimate object, you know? Like with zero compassion whatsoever. So when I sit there and say people like that scare me, if he's able to sit there and talk about a child like it's a piece of jewelry that doesn't mean anything and doesn't matter. Hell, even the girl that was sent there trying to set her up was like, "Whoa, you Jesus Christ, you're cold." Sasha lost it, and she starts Britney spearing the hell out of that damn car with that pole. So at this point, they want to call on the cops. Now Dante's there whining about his career and because he, turned down one assignment, is he going to be, not given a chance to do anything further? I'm like, bro, you made a choice. Like, you make choices and you deal with the consequences of those choices. And Jordan's like, I'll do what I can, don't worry about it. And, she talks about her experience or whatever. But I'm just like, I'm kind of looking at it like, bro, I don't want to sit there and say you're whining, but like, you knew that was the right choice to make. Like, if another opportunity comes, then you'll deal with it when you deal with it. I don't think this needs to be a whole conversation, but all right, cool. We're in the wasting time, so let's go. They get a call, Sasha, they go down there. Smalls is all like, I want to press charges. And Dante's like, do you not see the state that this woman is in? You really want to sit there and kick a woman when she's down? Do you really want to be the guy to kick a woman when she's down? What he did was ask Smalls a moral question. Okay? Either option A or option B. He clearly failed on the morality because he was just wanting to arrest her. And so when I sit there and say guys like that scare me, sure. Now, it comes up later on that he has some sort of mental disability or somewhere in there. I'm not simply saying I give him a pass, but at least I can try to understand on some level. medically. I don't know what kind of disability that must be to not have any empathy for someone who lost their child, but I'm not a doctor, so we'll just leave it at that. Now, you look at Sasha for a minute. What happened in this episode was it was a lot of things. Okay, it was heartbreaking. It was tough to watch when you look at it as a whole. But Brando kept sitting there saying that this guy set her off. He said something to set her off like this. But you gotta sit there and look at all the facts. Okay, not that many episodes. I was sitting there, rolling my eyes at Sasha when she was like, "Oh well, therapy isn't really a big deal," and she wants to sit there and leave, and she wants to go at it her own way. And now look where she's at. Look where she's at because she didn't bother to sit there and take her mental health seriously. So on some level, this falls back to a little bit on her because she didn't start off this way. Okay, there was things that happened out of her control, and that sucks. What she did next determined, she had control over the situation in the aftermath, and she chose to ignore pretty much everyone and go at it her own way. And this is the result. You see her in jail, and she looked like she's not even there. She's broken. I watched the previews, and Lucy's that they're talking about, you know, kind of shoving her out of deception. And while Max will probably sit there and be like, "That's that's cold, that's heartless, and everything like that," no, boo, that's business. Okay, that's business. Because Sasha did not sit there, step back, do what she could to sit there and be like, "You know what? I got to step back. Things happen, and whatever." It's making the whole company, and all the employees in it, not in a great position. Call Sonny, and Sonny can't do anything. Dax went back to Sonny, being like, "Hey, listen, your stepchild or whatever is jumped in when I was there trying to pressure the guy." So hopefully the message stick. Hopefully it did. Jury duty. And just juries in general. It's scary to sit there and let those people decide your fate. Because when you think about jury duty, yeah, for every person that wants to do it, there's five other people that don't. And they just want to get it over with. And that person has to sit there and decide your future. How scary that is. TJ, Curtis, and Portia. Eventually, they let Portia in on a plan as far as waking Oz up from the medically induced coma and getting him to sit there and testify on Trina's behalf. Because the process that they're going to use is going to take too long. Trina can already be in jail by then. Appeals aren't guaranteed. But when she hears that, she's like, no, we can't do this. We can't do this. Kurt's like, well, I don't understand. Why don't you just sit there? Why are you turning it down so soon and stuff like that? I was like, bro, did you not just hear what TJ said? Did you not just hear what Portia said? They can bring this guy out and he may not give you what he wants. And then TJ loses his license. He can go to jail. There's a bunch of things that can happen to him because he wants to sit there and try to set I was right. Set Trina free. And then there's the whole, well, I mean, granted, they don't know that, but Esmer is missing, dead, who knows at this point. I hope she's not dead, because that would just be a waste. But there's too much that can go wrong. So Portia's like, yo, you can't do this. Just promise me you're not going to do this. Gigi leaves, and Kurt's is like, you're going to do this, aren't you? She's like, well, I got to do something. I was like, boo, you should have probably hired a PI from the beginning, but whatever. She's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it alone. They argue, and, she agrees to let Curtis help. We're still waiting for that secret to come out. Waiting for that secret to come out. Don't know when that's going to come out, but waiting. I think that's pretty much about it. Before I go, I want to thank everyone for watching my video today, but also the live stream that happened yesterday. I had a really good time, and I want to thank each and every single person that came out and watched, because it was last minute, but it was something that was really important as far as days and being on the Peacock network, and you know why while people who don't watch that just watch General Hospital, you know there's a domino effect to that, because it's going to show it's going to show a couple of things. This works. Who's to sit there and say that GH won't be next? Oh, they're gonna put it on exclusively on Hulu. If it works. If it doesn't work, then the writers of the three other soaps are gonna have to step it up. So, unless anything changes, 6 o'clock Pacific time, or New York time, we're gonna be doing a live stream on Sunday, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. Before I go, and I said this in one of my other videos, but I'm gonna say it in this one, since a lot of people actually watch this one, sometimes more than, I don't know. But sometimes I get good numbers on this one. I'm gonna say on this one. I just want to give a special shout out to Lakia, because when I got my 1,000 subscribers, she actually came on my channel, congratulated me. She's been doing this for a while. She also does all 4 soap operas reviews, and she does it pretty well. So thank you, Lakia, for just congratulating me and just supporting the channel. And everyone else, I want to thank everyone else for just supporting the channel in general. That means a lot to me. It really does. So yeah, with that being said, I think that's pretty much about it. Kind of the more pertinent information. And then yeah. I will see everyone in the next video, and thank you for watching.